Deputy Dorlisa James with Department of Detention Services, and this is Inside HCSO.
Head on Inside HCSO. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Deputies tracked down a burglar who jumped from a window and into a lake. Preventing teenage drinking. What happened after deputies put beer goggles on local students? And the Sheriff's Office gives a warm welcome home to the military at MacDill. Hello, I'm Captain Chad Chronister. Welcome to our Memorial Day edition of Inside HCSO, where we'll take you behind the scenes and keep you updated on the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Now let's go inside HCSO. Home alone and terrified, a 19-year-old woman called 911 when she heard someone break into her Lake Magdalene family home. Minutes later, her frightening ordeal came to an end when our patrol deputies, aviation unit, and dive team responded to the scene and caught this burglar. This all happened last week and started with a 911 call to dispatcher Barbara Williams.
911, what is your emergency?
Yeah, there's somebody in my house. I'm not sure if I know them or not. They knocked.
They're in your house?
Yes, I heard them open the back door.
Just stay on the phone with me, though. You don't have to say anything unless they're trying to get into your door.
I think they're walking around the house.
Okay.
I'm scared. They're opening doors.
We do have many deputies on the way.
When I heard the suspect actually exiting the window here, I observed him jump out of the window, coming this way, across this path here, and then across this creek. The suspect, after he jumped across the creek, continued through the neighbor's yard onto their dock, and then jumped off the end of the dock into the water.
About an hour searching for him in here. Finally, Deputy Deagle steps on his leg and realizes it's a body, not another stick he stepped on, and looks down and sees the guy's face there. Just his nose above water and eyes closed, trying to hide from us. So he called me over and we took him into custody.
Jose Angel Rodriguez was charged with burglary of an occupied dwelling, giving a false name to a law enforcement officer, and resisting without violence. Severe weather whipped through the nation this week, including right here in Hillsborough County. All 4 of our districts provide extra support for county maintenance crews when storms roll through. When trees toppled over, District 2's cut team was dispatched to more than a dozen locations. Using chainsaws, they removed trees and other debris from roadways during the afternoon rush hour. Last year, District 2's cut team responded to over 65 incidents within 6 hours when a heavy storm passed through our county. An observant school resource deputy turned a strange sighting into a quick arrest. Last week, Deputy Patrick Diaz, who works at the Turkey Creek Middle School in eastern Hillsborough County, noticed a man pushing a toy car on a dolly down the road. But as the man, 46-year-old Bruce Hicks, neared the school property, Deputy Diaz grew more concerned.
I saw the subject in question pushing a dolly with a children's car attached. And when he walked by me, I saw a small firearm and a holster on his hip. Then I said, "Sir," and that's when he stopped and actually stepped onto the school property. And at that point, I started to walk towards him. And as I'm walking towards him, he starts telling me about how he's a sovereign citizen and he's not subject to the laws of the United States or Hillsborough County. And he was informing me of that there was a $250,000 fine for every 15 minutes that I unlawfully detained him.
Bruce Hicks was arrested and charged with multiple firearm charges, including possessing a firearm on school property. When a burglar stole hundreds of pieces of jewelry worth thousands of dollars from a Bloomingdale home, he left behind something very useful for our deputies, his fingerprint. That fingerprint led to the return of all of the stolen jewelry. Deputy Hannah Ospina lifted a latent fingerprint from the bedroom window of the home, burglarized earlier this month. Forensic print analyst Ricky Navarro matched that fingerprint to 19-year-old Chad Stahl. Detective discovered Stahl had recently sold 2 pieces of the stolen jewelry to a pawn shop. Deputy Ospina said when she lifted the print, she had a good feeling about it.
Yeah, I lifted the print, they ran it, it ran back to a suspect, a guy nearby, and they ran with it and they made their arrest.
In the end, Chad Stahl admitted to the burglary, and detectives were able to return all of the jewelry, worth more than $10,000. A girls' softball game erupted into a fight among grown-ups and the arrest of a coach. This all happened at the Fishhawk Sports Complex in Lithia, where the Christina Girls Minor Division 12 and under team had just finished their game on Sunday. Unhappy with the game calls, Gordon Moore of Lakeland, a team coach, exchanged words with 2 of the umpires, eventually headbutting one of them. The umpire struck back, punching Moore in the face. Moore was arrested and charged with battery. A violent offender on the run could no longer hide after aviation and canine units teamed up to find him. James Silva was wanted on a number of violation of probation warrants. After tracking Silva in the Riverview area, Deputy Charlotte Rashke and Canine Dagger searched 2 floors of a home and found Silva hiding in the attic. Silva was arrested on a slew of new felony charges along with the outstanding VOP warrants. A 300-pound black bear looking for a mate has a much better shot at finding love this weekend. You may recall last week our deputies assisted Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission officials when the bear ended up in the backyard of an Egypt Lake resident. Officials tranquilized the bear and eventually sent him back home to the Ocala National Forest. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office welcomed home 12 airmen assigned to the 927th Air Refueling Wing at MacDill Air Force Base on Sunday. The airmen were deployed in Southeast Asia in support of Operation Enduring Freedom.
Feel to be back home.
Oh, it feels great. I left a little bit of me back there. Lost a little bit of weight, so something always good about it. But miss my kids. I'm glad to be home. Miss my wife. Glad we made it home safe.
Can't beat it. 60 days in the desert and get to come back to Florida. It's much better. It's great to see the kids again.
With one of the biggest holiday weekends ahead, a local nightclub can be proud of its efforts to prevent drinking and driving. Sheriff David G. presented the Dallas Bull with a big honor, the 2012 SAVE, or Sheriff's Alcohol Vendor Enforcement Award. The owners of the club cut in half the number of impaired drivers from the year before. Dallas Bull management cracked down on alcohol consumption in the parking lot, fake IDs, and selling to minors. We received an honor for our own drunk driving prevention efforts. The national chapter of Mothers Against Drunk Driving honored our Operation 3D DUI Enforcement Squad for outstanding dedication to DUI enforcement. No question, you'll see these guys out on the roads this Memorial Day weekend, watching out for impaired drivers. But our DUI enforcement program starts with the prevention and education of our teenagers at local high schools.
Yeah, out of the 27 high schools in Hillsborough County, we have right now, up to this point this year, we've only missed a few schools. Next year, we're going to take this program to all the high schools. The intent is to hit the 19 within unincorporated Hillsborough County and then the 8 in the city. I think it's making an impact when they have the opportunity to come out here, put on the fatal goggles, and see what it's like to actually try to do one of these exercises, try to operate the pedal cart, try to do simple things that they can do right now. If they were to take the goggles off, they could breeze through these things. When they put those goggles on, they realize the impact that has, and that it's basically showing them what it would be like to be impaired. I think that this is where it's at, is educating our youth, getting the youth to where, change the culture. We know that we can't arrest our way out of this problem. So education, we believe, is really where it's at. Unfortunately, last year alone, we lost 5,500 kids, basically, under the age of 20. So 5,500 in the United States, that's a staggering number. And that's the biggest reason why we're really wanting to make that impact. And along with the culture change, we hope we can affect that. We can bring that number down.
Well, it's a great experience. I mean, it's hard. It's hard, to feel like to know that you haven't drank anything and to be off balance and try your best to stay in a position that you're under control and you're really not. I think the lesson is if they take it seriously, it will prevent people from driving under the influence.
I'm not interested in drugs or alcohol, and know the effects of it is even worse, because it's dangerous. So you have to be responsible with it.
This weekend, we're going to have heightened patrols on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, just to help deter any other drinking and driving and presence. We're going to saturate the entire county, as well as any boaters that are going to be out boating need to be aware that there'll be patrols, and our Marine unit is going to be out. And we'll also be eyeing those that are coming off of the water and possibly had too much to drink as well.
History rolled down the street last week as the house that will become our new Sheriff's Office Museum was ripped from its foundation and transported to our Ybor City headquarters. We checked in with our architect last Thursday after the 100-plus ton house was delivered.
2 houses are being moved from 12th Avenue near Nebraska. They're being moved here. One house will be the Al Lopez Baseball Museum, and the second house will become the Sheriff's Office Museum. Well, I think it started about somewhere around 9:30 last night, and as you can see, they're still, it's almost 9, and they're still moving, so quite a production.
The Sheriff's Office Museum, scheduled to open next year, will display flashlights, radios, and uniforms used by deputies throughout the years. If you would like to donate to our museum, you can do so by contacting HCSO Charities through our Sheriff's Office website. Last week, we remembered our own fallen heroes at the Sheriff's Office during a public memorial service in downtown Tampa.
The flag is always an important part of our ceremony because we recognize that, you know, at the bottom line, the men and women in law enforcement are what keep the freedom in our country, and we fight overseas and we fight here at home every day.
Deputy Mark Longway, end of watch, September 21st, 2010.
He's trying to be strong for Mark, and his father passed away recently, and so I think probably the two of them are at peace. They left us here to go through this and keep remembering that you have to be strong and you have to be of a special breed to be a deputy or a law enforcement.
Corporal Amon Harvey, end of watch, December 15, 1981.
It's very touching to see everybody here, to see the outpouring of support for the families. There are no words that can really.
From unsolved homicides to fugitives on the run, our investigators need your help in catching the county's most elusive criminals.
I'm Sergeant Chris Bowman with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office Homicide Section. We're asking for your help to solve a crime.
On May 30th, 2011, just before 10 p.m., 26-year-old Sean Buchanan had just finished watching the movie Fast 5 at the AMC movie theater at Regency Square Shopping Center in Brandon. Less than an hour later, a theater employee and an off-duty paramedic found Buchanan struggling to survive inside his car, which crashed into a wooded area behind the mall. Buchanan eventually died from a stab wound. Take a look at this surveillance video of a man leaving the mall just after 10 p.m. We believe Sean Buchanan left the mall around the same time from the same exit. We need to identify this man, and we need your help. If you know anything about this case, please call our homicide section at 247-8655. Or if you want to leave an anonymous tip, you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-873-TIPS. You can also text your anonymous tip by texting CSTB plus your tip to crimes.
Thank you for your help.
I'm Corporal Marvin Johnson with the Warrant Section. We're looking for this suspect and we need your help. Take a look at this man. His name is Fabian Demetric Williams, and we have warrants on him for first-degree felony murder and robbery with a deadly weapon. He was last seen in the Palm River area around Sanson Park. He is also known to frequent the Green Ridge area. If you know where he is, please call our Warrant Section at 247-0735. Or if you want to leave an anonymous tip, you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-873-TIPS. You can also text your anonymous tip by texting CSTB plus your tip to CRIMES. Thank you for your help.
I'm Corporal Bruce Crumpler with the Economic Crime Section. We need your help with this case. We've been investigating 35-year-old Latasha Rashunda Collins for several weeks. We believe Collins, who used several aliases, duped strangers into depositing bad checks into their accounts and then persuaded them to cash the checks for her. Collins would tell the victims a variety of false stories to get them to help her, like claiming her license was expired or saying she couldn't find her debit card. Sometimes she'd offer a cash incentive for the victim's help. Currently, Collins is arrested on an unrelated charge, but we are looking for anyone who may have been one of her victims. If you know anything about this case, please call me, Corporal Bruce Crumpler, in the Economic Crime Section at 247-0893. Thank you for your assistance.
Now to crimes captured on camera. Take a look at this surveillance video. We have the same guy who has hit the same Walgreens pharmacy on Brandon Boulevard twice. First in July and again last week. He flashed a handgun and then demanded pain pills. In both heists, he wore a beige cap with a cat emblem on the front. In this next case, 3 women walk into the Elegant Beauty Supply store at University Mall. They steal 4 Lord and Cliff's hair weaves worth more than $650 by stashing them in their clothes. And finally, a break-in at Genio's Bakery on Hanley Road. A suspect steals a flat-screen TV worth more than $400. If you recognize any of these people, please call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-873-TIPS, or you can text your anonymous tip to CSTB plus your tip to CRIMES. The Sheriff's Office has some upcoming events we'd like to tell you about. Please join us for a day of family fun at the HCSO Charity Fishing Tournament on June 8th at the West Shore Yacht Club. For more information, please visit our website. Sheriff G is kicking off a new Teen Driver Challenge, focusing on defensive driving and vehicle control. Classes begin July 18th at the Walter C. Heinrich Practical Training Site on State Road 39 in Lithia. For more information on this and many other of our community programs, please visit our website. That's our edition of Inside HCSO. I'm Captain Chad Chronister. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of Sheriff David G. and the entire Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, please enjoy your holiday weekend. Stay safe, Hillsborough County.